I've discovered 4 levels of influence. I mean, if you watch this channel, you know that I talk about YouTube a lot, and I use YouTube to help people build influence, to build a massive following. And as I've grown in influence myself, as I've helped many of my clients grow huge tribes of influence, I've discovered that there are 4 different levels of influence. And if you want to influence the world in a big way, if you really want to improve the world, make an impact, it's important to understand these different levels of influence, because you really have got to go deep to really make an impact and change the world. You can't just influence on a surface level. You've got to go deeper to really make a big impact. So to illustrate, the level 1, first level of influence is where you make somebody feel good. Okay, you can give them some motivation, you can inspire them for a moment. I felt that, and I really enjoy that. When I speak on a stage and people are listening to me, and especially after, when I get off the stage and people swarm me and ask me questions and tell me how good it was and tell me, wow, Nate, that was so actionable. I mean, it pumps me up. I love feeling that way, and I know in those moments that I've influenced people. But that's just level 1. That's just the beginning of influence, because who knows if they're going to implement it? Who knows if they're going to actually change or do the things that I suggest? So while it's important to start somewhere, while that is a good level of influence, what's even more important and more valuable is if you can influence people to take action. So that's the next level of influence, is being able to inspire somebody so much so that they actually act, that they do what you suggested. So if I spoke from the stage, how many people then left and in the days following started implementing what I suggested? Or if I'm providing somebody some advice, do they implement it? Do they take action on it? Now, a lot of people think that that's where influence stops. A lot of people don't recognize, I work with a lot of coaches, speakers. All right, let's see if we're back. I work with so many different influencers that only go to level 2. They inspire people, and so much so that they take action. But how many of the people that you're influencing get results, that their lives are better, that you've really impacted the world in a significant way because of them taking action? I mean, fulfillment is so rewarding when not only have I seen people listen to what I suggest, listen to what I teach, and implement it, but then to see them get results, that's where I get deep fulfillment. I get huge fulfillment. I've seen the impact I've made in somebody else's life to where it's transformed their lives, that I can take somebody who's a multimillionaire and completely transform their business. That's influence. I've had a major influence. Or to look at my staff in the Philippines, to see the impact that giving them this employment, to see the impact it's had on their lives, to hear the stories of their families, and to hear feedback from that. That's level 3. That is an awesome type of influence. There's huge fulfillment that comes from that. And why do we not go that far? There's one more step, but why don't we go to step 3? Why don't we ensure that our clients are achieving success? That our clients are achieving success. I mean, we can sell a solution, but why don't we ensure that our clients are applying it and actually using the stuff that we teach, so much so that they actually get results? That's a tough question, because so many influencers only go to level 2. And there's fulfillment in that, in selling stuff and having people report, yeah, I'm using it, it's working. But when you can change somebody's life. Now, what's level 4? Level 4 influence kind of comes naturally when level 3 influence happens. And that's 1, referrals, and 2, track record and credibility. I mean, when you can teach somebody to do something, they apply it, and they get results, you naturally get referrals. And so other people come to you with a whole new level. The pre-frame of credibility is just huge. You've got a track record. You can say, hey, look, you should do these things. You should follow my advice here, because look, this person followed my advice and look where it's gotten them. They've got results. And so it's really just about credibility and referrals. And it's just a snowball. It starts to build momentum, and you can have a bigger and bigger impact. So why do we want influence? Why do we want to get people to listen to us, to follow our advice? Well, God is the master of influence, and we're supposed to become like God. It's as simple as that. God is the master of influence. We are his children. We get to become like him. So how do we do that? Is it just about becoming influential, gaining influence? No, it's gaining influence and using it like he does. Using influence the way that God does. Influencing the world for good. So there's two ways that we can use this influence. We can make the world a better place, or we can use influence to manipulate others. Ugh. And what do you think? What do you think is going to happen to us if we use influence that way? So I challenge you to take your influence deeper. Go beyond the inspiration and the motivation from the stage. Go beyond selling courses that people may or may not implement, but go beyond them just implementing stuff, but make sure that they're getting the results. Make sure that they're doing it right. Make sure that they're implementing every step so that they actually get the results, and track it. Get accountability from them. Get reporting on that. And it's going to mean a huge thing for your business. It's going to give you credibility when they get results. You're going to get way more referrals. You're going to have that track record. You'll be able to raise your prices. And make sure that we're doing all of this with the highest principles of integrity, of honesty, of ethics, of morality, that we're building this influence to make the world a better place. We'll see you next time.